You watched any of the World Cup?
I did not.
Oh man,
This is one of the few like sports things you actually
and I
engage with.
The U.S. game, her first game was so good. They played so well. Like I don't follow them outside of, so it's like every 4 years I watch the World Cup, and the team, at least that first game, they look so good, and it's got me really excited. Can't wait to see their second game. And Portugal plays tomorrow, which is the other
nice.
Because those you don't know, Jared was born in Portugal. I lived there, and we lived there for 5 years.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like our second home. So like we always, those are the teams I kind of watch and really root for, is the U.S. and
for sure
and Portugal. And so
I was the same. If I followed sports, it'd be so Portugal would be I'd be thinking about that for sure.
Then the other thing, I mean, have you seen any like the memes or reels on?
I saw a little bit,
of the Europeans' reactions to being in U.S.
No, I didn't see that.
Oh,
no.
Like there's all kinds of stuff, like whether written little like meme things, or where they're just like blown away by Taco Bell, or being in like driving suburbia, and because a lot of games are played in like Dallas or in LA, and being like suburbia Dallas and being like, it looks just like what we see on TV, or like those kind of things, or
that's
like
cool.
People are reacting and like to these things, and or going to a Buc-ee's, like all the things that like just feel so American and very different than what the rest of the world tends to experience, especially in Europe. And so that stuff's pretty entertaining.
That's cool. Yeah. I'll have to check that out. That's great. I always love the fascination with, it's like specifically with America and Japan, I would say especially, but definitely the UK as well. But it's like how all of us here like love Japan and are fascinated by like their culture and really like engage with it. But then like Japan, like they are fascinated with American culture too. It's just like, it's interesting to see it. And same with UK and all that. And that's cool. See that reaction of the UK
it's
people
coming. You're excited by something new and different than what you're used to. And so for us,
new cultures,
when we go to Europe or somewhere else and we're like, hey, and we're like so fascinated by all that stuff. And then they come to which is, it doesn't have as much history. Mm-hmm. We have 250 years versus thousands of years that they have. But it is a culture. U.S. is a culture. And even, of course, we have microcultures in our culture because our country is so big and
we're the melting pot.
And so but anyway, some of that stuff's fun and interesting and hilarious to see too.
So their mind was blown by Taco Bell.
Like I can't remember the exact line,
funny.
But it was just like that, or something. Some of the other was just like, wow, you can just get tacos anytime or whatever. I don't know, like just the fact that stuff's open all the time. Like all the different like things that just.
What would be? I'm trying to think for like a foreigner. Like what would be? Because it wouldn't be obviously Taco Bell, but like what would be the main thing? I guess like an American, like all American cheeseburger or hot dog, I guess. Would that be the thing?
Maybe.
I'm assuming that people would want to, food related, I'm thinking.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
or a New York authentic slice, even though that's Italian, but like, it's New York.
Yeah, but
pizza.
The style is very different. It's not traditionally, like it's not like actual Italian pizza versus.
Yep. And in the South, it's the barbecue, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely barbecue's not something that...
No.
Though I remember we were in Madrid and there's like this, like, it was right next to the McDonald's. It looked like more like a chain restaurant. And it was like Texas barbecue. It was like the place was just called that.
Nice.
And I was, because the one guy, there were a couple people that was there from Dallas that were there from the agency that hired. And I was like, you gotta go get, nostalgia for your, he's like, there's no way I'm trying that.
No. No. Probably not the best.
No.
Although I still want to go like anywhere outside of the US. You mentioning McDonald's, like I just hear how like great they are in other countries. You know what I mean? Specifically,
they're
and specific new items,
different too.
But like just better things in general. I've heard.
Yeah, we were in this really weird
Royale
spot.
Cheese.
Yes, this real weird spot in Madrid, and there was like nothing open but the McDonald's at like because
did you do?
It was a holiday, so yeah, and they had like these weird Stranger Things themed stuff that we didn't even have here, and it was
So you have experienced McDonald's outside the U.S.?
Yeah.
Is it better? No,
It's the same. I mean, it was different. There was like because there was different like flavor option things on there, but I wouldn't say it's better. It's still McDonald's.
Interesting.
Hey, welcome back to Screen Time TV, a podcast where we discuss some of the latest streaming shows. And currently we're going to discuss a little more in depth Spider-Noir Season 1.
Yeah.
But first, Jared, why would I deny the world a moment of my grandeur?
It's a very Josh thing to say.
So my name's Josh, and this is my co-host, Jared.
Josh, you're a podcaster. So podcast. I have two others I'm going to mention real quick.
Yeah.
Fortune favors the bold, and look how poor I am. And then my other favorite, which I'm glad they included this in a Spider-Man related thing, with no power comes little responsibility.
Yes. There's some great, there's some great stuff in there.
And like specific 1930s style lingo and dialogue. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did like that one. With no power comes little responsibility, because it just fit the theme so well.
Yep.
All right. Well, I think we have feedback, right? We'll do feedback, what we've been watching, and then talk again into Spider-Noir.
Yes. Yeah, we have one piece of feedback, and if you want,
please leave a comment, send us DMs.
Yes.
Or email us at feedback@screentimepod.com, and we'll read it or share it on the podcast.
Yes. Yeah. And leave a comment on the full YouTube video. We don't really get that much. Most of it's on the shorts, but either way, we like the engagement and talking with you guys about films and TV. So this is from you're right. This is from when we were talking about The Prestige. So, this is from Mike W69. Incredible movie, crazy twist. For sure. I agree.
Yeah.
So thank you, Mike, for the comment.
And you can check out our discussion of Prestige on one of the film, as we cover all of Nolan's films.
Yes.
To the Odyssey.
Yep. Journey to the Odyssey. Odyssey to the Odyssey. Yeah, check it out. Everything's all in one feed. Whether you want to check out the director, films we're covering, or the TV pod. It's all there, all the same feed. So, thank you, people comment, but leave more comments. We haven't got many
lately. Yeah. We haven't said enough controversial things.
I guess not. Josh, we need to up it. We're being too safe apparently with our dialogue.
Cool. Well, let's get into what we've been watching. I've got 3 things.
Okay.
All movies.
I got 2 things. All movies.
Mm.
All right. So not a TV pod for a second. We're gonna be diving into some films.
Happened to be what I ended up seeing. All right, so we'll start with, but one's streaming. It's Netflix, The Office Romance.
Yeah, this is what I thought.
This is the premise is Jackie, president and CEO of Air Cruise, runs a tight ship in her business, including a rigid anti-fraternization policy for all her employees, which is severely tested when a sexy new lawyer begins working for her. So this said CEO is Jennifer Lopez, played by Jennifer Lopez. The said sexy lawyer is Brett Goldstein, or AKA Roy Kent from Ted Lasso.
I also watched this film.
Okay, this also has Betty Gilpin in it.
Love her.
Edward James Olmos and Bradley Whitford and Tony Hale.
Yes, that's right. I forgot he's very briefly in it.
As the HR guy.
Yeah. This is not my kind of film, but I did watch it. I didn't put it on my list for today, but
okay. Yeah. But you did watch it.
Yes.
I think the 2 leads have great chemistry. Mm-hmm. I think that part works. I think there's a couple funny moments. I think overall, it's a meh. Honestly, like I was a little disappointed. I was expecting more because this was also written by Brett Goldstein.
Okay.
With somebody else, but like who has is a writer on Ted Lasso, a writer on Shrinking, and so was kind of expecting a little bit smarter, better writing.
I agree.
Than what we got. But I think the acting from the two leads, like I said, the chemistry was there. I did like Betty Gilpin's character, like the way she kind of was. I love when what is she? Oh, what was where she's like humming a theme? Didn't she even humming a theme? And he's like, is she humming the theme to the male guy? And like she's like staring him down. And
I don't remember what she's humming, but yeah,
it's like something that it was kind of funny. So there's some moments, but
I didn't really think.
But the overall,
the humor was
the plot and stuff in this. It just wasn't there.
I didn't really think the humor was really great at all either. And yeah, the plot and everything was, I don't think was great at all. But the main reason why I watched it, because I don't watch these kind of movies, is I just love Brett Goldstein. I love Betty Gilpin. So I'll watch whatever they're in. And Jennifer Lopez, I like her. I don't really like her as an actor really though, but it was cool to see her in this. I mean, she looks amazing for her like age. I believe she's in her late 50s.
She's definitely in her 50s. I don't remember exactly. Yeah. Yes, she does look really good for her age, for sure. Yeah. So that's on Netflix. Office Romance.
I'm assuming it's probably number one on Netflix.
Probably.
Right now, or
no, I did see
people
something.
Love these.
I did see something.
Movies.
It broke a record of some kind. But
really?
I don't remember what it was. Yeah, like I saw it in my feed. I didn't click on it, but for something for Netflix, probably like his most views for a movie or something. Something like that in a short period of time.
I do agree with you though, because like that's what I was looking forward to going in was Brett Goldstein, and I didn't know he was writing on it, but like. Especially now, you saying that he wrote it, it's like should be smarter and better.
Yeah. All right, what's something you got?
I will start with Strange Darling. This is a film that came out 2 years ago. Yeah. This is on Paramount right now. Are you familiar with this film?
Loosely. I mean, I've not seen it.
You haven't seen it? Okay. I think you should definitely watch it. So the premise, nothing is what it seems when a twisted one-night stand spirals into a serial killer's vicious murder spree. This is directed by J.T. Molnar, who I was not familiar with, and I believe he's only done a few films, but now I'm like I will watch whatever he does next. Same with the director I mentioned, I believe last time, the Dinner in America movie that I was like really high on. Same with him, like, and I think he has a movie coming out soon too, and just like a lot of really cool like newer directors right now. And so a lot of interesting things about this film. One thing is cinematographer Giovanni Ribisi is a cinematographer.
Okay.
You know that is right. Sneaky Pete, he's been in a ton of stuff, but I didn't know, I don't think he's been the cinematographer on anything else. But so that also shot entirely on Kodak 35 millimeter film.
Okay.
Which gives an awesome look to the film. So shout out to him, Giovanni Ribisi. The cinematography is amazing in this. And it just looks beautiful. And actors. Willa Fitzgerald. Okay. I think you know her, right? And my guy now, Kyle Gallner, who I talked about and praised in Dinner in America, who, he's kind of quickly becoming one of my favorite newer actors. He's just, very unique actor in what he does. Like I said, the really only thing I compare him to is like Sean Penn. It's kind of the only thing, but no, he really is his own thing. So they both are great. Honestly, Willa Fitzgerald like crushes this because she has to do so much, and I don't know if she even got a nomination or anything. But this movie, I don't think like really wasn't much marketing. I don't think, no one knows the director, so I don't know how well it did, but I hope it did well enough that he could do more. Because I'll just say, I think this movie was amazing. And what's the other thing I had to say? Oh, so it also, very interesting storytelling, the way they do it, played out in 6 chapters. Okay. And they go through, they'll have the chapter up on there as the film goes on. And it's also out of order. So it's like, I believe it starts chapter 3. And, we jump around, like we go back to like chapter 1, chapter 5. So intentionally out of order, they do it that way for specific story beats that like, and reveals. That's why they do it that way. And I think that's also another cool thing about it. That doesn't like hinder the film in any way, I don't think. It would be interesting actually to see it chronologically, but so the story plays out that way. And I would say also very Tarantino with the visuals, but not the dialogue. The dialogue is very different. And the lighting too, like there's a scene where it's just like the two of them are outside just in the car in a truck. It's at night. They're in front of a motel, and it's just like there's a blue neon sign, and it's just like it's completely bathed in like this awesome neon blue on them in the car. It's a different time. It's like very red. It's just like the lighting is just very intentional too. It's just honestly everything about this film. I loved it. So yeah, you should really check it out. It's not scary, it's not a horror film. It's just very, very intense, thriller. Again, it's about a serial killer. Also very unique in the way the story plays out and not the way you expect it all.
Okay.
So I loved it. Strange Darling on Paramount.
Cool. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
All right. Another movie I saw, and this one is in the theaters. Masters of the Universe.
Oh, you finally saw it. Okay.
A young man on Earth discovers a fabulous secret legacy as the prince of an alien planet and must recover a magic sword and return home to protect his kingdom.
I know you were looking forward to this.
Well,
you love when you were a kid. Yeah. No? Well, I mean, no, I just remember growing up. Because this was before my time. This was...
Yes. So I remember watching this cartoon.
Right,
He-Man,
cartoon.
And then there was also She-Ra.
Yep.
This was later. And then I had a few of the toys.
Yeah, I remember those. I remember playing with them.
But I also, it's funny that you actually played with them.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, but the one thing I don't really remember, I really did not remember most of the characters.
Yeah.
What the general plot was of things, other than I just remember Skeletor, right?
Of course.
And so like watching this film, this film is cheesy. This film is, definitely
kind of has to be.
Yeah. It's a little goofy at times, but it's also over the top and ridiculous and kind of fun. There's definitely some great action scenes, and it's beautiful, like the way they recreate this
nice
fantasy planet.
Eternia?
Yes, Eternia is what it's called. Yes. And but this like the stars, it has Idris Elba, Camila Mendez, Jared Leto, Alison Brie, Kristen Wiig, and Mariana Baccarin. How do you say your last name?
Yeah. I don't know how to say it. Yeah.
Mariana Baccarin. I don't know. And
from Deadpool and
yes,
Gotham is where I first saw her in the TV show.
Yeah.
She's in a lot of stuff.
So
Nicholas Galitzine, I believe is how you pronounce.
Yeah, I didn't listen to him because he's a nobody.
Yeah, have you seen him? You haven't seen him anything?
No, so I didn't mention him.
Me either.
He plays the lead.
Yep.
He plays He-Man.
He looks like someone that was like on Riverdale or something. Like
yeah, he's not though.
But yeah, he's not. Yeah, or something like that.
Yeah. So the I mean Jared Leto and Skeletor is like just amazingly ridiculous, but in a good way. Like it's just awesome. Like over the top, and Skeletor in general. Like I said, some of the action stuff in this is good way ridiculous, over the top.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it was a fun movie, even though, and then like so the visuals are good. So
Awesome.
yeah,
So you did like it.
yeah, in the again in that way, like it's never say it was a good movie. It's like
Right.
I would say, you know, you manage your expectations going into it, what you're expecting for something like this. I mean, it was basically like a streaming film that just got distributed because it's made by Amazon. It's an Amazon Prime original film. So,
or MGM or
yeah, it does have MGM on the front of it, but it's it's going to be yeah.
But you said it looks beautiful though, so like it's pretty.
Like they spent some money on it.
Yeah.
The special effects are ridiculous. I will say, I think.
Is there any practical though? Also, it's not just a CG fest.
I mean, the swords and the Master Sword looks like it's practical. Like those things, like props and stuff like that, are practical. But like the sets are definitely mostly, in the foreground practical stuff, and then like it's got to be CGI over there.
Looks like just Thor Ragnarok, like the the kind of
that's good comp. But the only thing I would say is like they definitely, and this is where I'm like I don't remember what the cartoon stories were like in the overall things, but they definitely built in this feel good plot thing of like trying to subvert the strength and masculinity is not the only answer to just brute force is not the answer to everything. And I don't know if that was like, hey, because this is Mattel, just like Barbie is, and they're trying to like do the Barbie thing, and because like I don't know that there was that much depth to the cartoon.
Probably not.
but at the end, the morals, the story of like is there, and it's cheesy, but also I would say I was trying to compare this to like the Dungeons and Dragons film, which is kind of, I think that one was maybe a little bit better, but there's also way more, I think, world building there that exists already, and all the stuff that previously was made, where this, like I said, I think even just all you were working with is a cartoon, and because that's originally it wasn't anything prior to that, right? And so I don't think there's as much depth and stuff to work with from that sense, but it's still fun.
I think one thing I do remember, because I think I very briefly saw a little bit of the cartoon. Like I said, like this was a very specific time period of like, if you were a fan of this, like this was definitely your age growing up. Mm-hmm. And that's the only reason why I knew about it, is because of like, the toys of it that you had. And I think I might have saw the cartoon a little bit, but one thing I'm pretty sure they do is like at the end of every episode, there's like, don't they have like, it's like a life lesson or a moral? I think that they kind of like talk to you about it, right? So do they do that
at the end of the movie? Yeah.
Awesome.
It's like, but it's like a post, like I'm not post credit that much.
Mid credit?
But like just kind of like, they start the credits a little bit, and then it's like the little guy shows up and is like, hey, what did we learn today?
That's cool.
So they do that, and then the actual post credit scene is like a tease for She-Ra. But like,
nice.
So I mean, because it's Amazon, like they could easily just pivot and do like a She-Ra He-Man show and not make it another film.
Yeah.
Whatever. Again, these things don't have to make a ton of money in the theater, because then it becomes an original exclusive on their streaming service. And so it's a very different business model. So even though I think it had a budget of almost 200 million, because it's, just like that kind of, a Marvel movie or whatever that's in that, range. The, it doesn't, even if it doesn't make a lot on the, in the theaters, it still doesn't mean they're not going to make more content around this.
Yeah.
IP. So
I wonder how it did, or how it's doing in the theater. I'm assuming it's probably not going to be in the theater much longer at this point, but okay. All right. I do want to check it out. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Once it's streaming, I guess.
Yeah. All right. What else you got?
I have one more. You still have one also? Okay. All right. So my other film is Mother Mary. This is now on VOD.
This is the end we were talking about.
That's what I mean. Yeah, this is and this is kind of why, because I was like, Well, I wanted to check it out anyways because it looked visually, it just looked interesting because all I saw was a trailer. But I love Anne Hathaway, and after we just talked about her and we just watched Dark Knight Rises,
Yep.
and then I was like, oh yeah, check out this movie. So, you're familiar with this movie though, right? I'm assuming you haven't seen
The trailer,
it, but you saw the trailer.
Film,
okay.
yeah.
So, long buried wounds rise to the surface when iconic pop star Mother Mary reunites with her estranged best friend and former costume designer, Sam Anselm, on the eve of her comeback performance. So that's the other reason why I want to watch it, just because it's somewhat about music. Not really, but it's about this pop artist. It's mainly more about, yeah, the
relationship
honestly,
there. The relationship.
their relationship, but like the costumes in general that she wears on stage is like a big factor of the plot. So it is Anne Hathaway and Michaela Cole, and Hunter Schafer also is in this. And so this film feels more like a play than like the way it's kind of played out. Like it,
The way it's shot, even. I mean, from the trailer, I've noticed things that kind of felt like that.
Yeah. Yes. I would say so, because it's also a lot of the film is mainly in one location, and except for when we see Anne Hathaway, like we cut to many times where she's doing a performance on stage, like in front of a ton of people. And let's see. So the visuals, you're talking about that, like the visuals are beautiful, and like I was like, man, there's a lot of really striking things, especially with her. Again, it's like a big plot point of the movie is what she's wearing, and there's so many unique costumes that she's doing, because she has a different one obviously for different every night, and they show a lot of them and they're all like super sick. They're awesome. And like, yeah, very unique. So that's it's obviously the costume designer, what would you call them on set, obviously is like crushed it in this. It might have been designed by someone that I don't know of in the
Yeah.
you know, in that whole industry. But let's see, that's really it as far as like good, like, so that's what I mean. So like all the visual stuff, lighting too, everything. And yeah, to your point, I think even the way it's shot, it is like shot like a play as well, but the way they act, a lot about it feels like a play. But then the story is not really that great, and it drags a lot as a result of that. So really it's just like, yeah, I would watch it for like, just check it out visually and just like engage with that part of it, because that's all like super sick. But then the story is just yeah whatever. It's not great, but yeah. Anne Hathaway again though, just incredible in this. Like she just does so much in this, and she's got to do a lot of acting with her face, and she does it very well. So
cool.
So maybe just watch a little bit of it, and just so you can see the visuals, but then yeah, you don't really need to watch the whole thing. So that's on VOD.
All right. And my last thing I saw was Obsession. This is also in the movie theaters.
Okay.
After breaking the mysterious one-wish Willow to win his crush's heart, a hopeless romantic finds himself getting exactly what he asked for, but soon discovers that some desires come at a dark, sinister price. So this film was great. I mean, like it's the story's great, most of the acting's great, and the visuals, the set decoration, the design, like, you know, it's definitely a smaller scope because it's a small, I mean, the budget was $750,000, like not even $1 million.
Right, because it's like breaking a record now, right, for the amount of money it's making.
Yes.
Or I saw something about that.
I mean, definitely, I don't know if it's broke a record yet, but it might have, because it's I mean, people are seeing it and going back to see it. And,
and so,
But yeah, I really enjoyed this. I think the director did a great job, and it's definitely worth seeing. If you can't catch it in the theater, at least when it's on VOD or whatever, definitely check it out. It is like a little bit of horror. It does get a little, that stuff later on, but it does have a lot of suspense leading up to beforehand. It's kind of like similar to Backrooms, and that they both do a great job of building up a lot, and it's not till like the third act that you really get any of the actual like more discussing stuff. Like, so it's not like heavy gore or violence, but there is some there at the end. It's kind of a little bit. Okay. This one has a little bit more than Backrooms does, but it's and the idea of it's just also great too. I think the premise is well executed.
It is a cool idea, yeah.
But they keep things simple. I mean, most of the time you're just dealing with the two main characters, and then even the two secondary characters. They're like two other friends in their little group of four friends. They're like the other people you mainly see, and there's only a few times where you see other people, and then the locations are pretty simple and not over. So it kind of helps me, obviously keep the scope smaller. And but yeah, I really enjoyed this film, and I think this and Backrooms is an example of these new younger directors from I guess on the younger side of Gen Z, even I guess would be what they considered.
Yeah.
And
I believe Curry Barker, the director of this, is like late 20s. Yeah.
One of them's
the other guy is like 20 or 21.
Yeah, they're both pretty young.
Yeah. It's very cool to see.
Yeah. I think this is kind of what I was talking to you about a little bit earlier. Yes. I think this is an example of like, people are saying, oh yeah, like people want original ideas. And it's like, yeah, they're kind of original ideas, but they're not completely. I think some of the idea in Backrooms, like that idea is original, but what you do have built in is like in Backrooms, definitely it is an existing IP in a different way. It's just like, it's not like we had, a flood of comic books that, were turned into movies, or before that there was other things they've done, video games. This is just another, like there is a built-in audience for existing thing, just hasn't been made into a TV show or movie yet.
It's people that like grew up with YouTube, right?
Yeah. They were both heavy YouTubers. Backrooms specifically, I mean, he made short films on YouTube about the Backrooms. So like that's existing IP just as a YouTube channel turned into then a feature film. I think the Obsession guy, he made other type of content and used a lot. It wasn't this story specifically, but he made a lot of short films with some of the same actors and that he used. And so, but
so is this like your idea of like this generation's?
Well, it's just like you're bringing in stuff from another that has a built-in audience, right? Like there is kind of this now in one, like it's how like the creator,
comic book people growing up, seeing comic book movies. Then
and it's also like a little bit, or like a musician, right? Like that's famous musician suddenly makes a movie, right, or does something, and you're like, and then there's a built-in audience that's already going to go see that because J-Lo's in it or something or whatever, or you know, Taylor Swift or whatever. Like if she, which I don't know that she's done any film yet, but like if she did, it was in a movie, you'd have all those rabid fans like just showing up to see them film, regardless if the film was good or not, just because you have built-in audience, right?
Yep.
And so you have that with these guys that have these YouTube channels with tons of subscribers and and built-in audience that's going to come and show up for their thing. But what they made has to be good. And both of these, I think, were good enough. I think Obsession's
you like that
much better script and story than Backrooms. But both were executed well. I think the acting's good. The visuals are good. All those things. So they both are at least decent enough movies that like then build momentum. And especially Obsession has got this crazy momentum that people are still going to see it.
Oh yeah.
And had such a very, very small budget. So
the thing I saw that was like so interesting, because I don't know how many times this has even happened, but I saw, because it was still, Obsession was still making so much money, they like canceled the date for like it being able or release streaming. I saw like an article about that. It was interesting. So they were like, and they didn't put a new date on it. They're just like, it was like their original date for it coming out streaming. They're just like, nope, which is smart, obviously. Like it continues to just dominate in theaters. So yeah. So you think this is a new thing that's going to happen a lot more?
Well, I mean, definitely now, because what Hollywood does is just like
with these.
It doesn't. So now they're going to be like, every YouTuber that has anything half decent is going to get like an offer to try to make something, because these two did so well. So you see a flood of them, and then a bunch of them will be bad, and then they'll be like, well, that didn't, which is like, the lesson is not where you found the people, right? The lesson is the good stories, like, and talented creative is not, so, I mean, not every YouTuber is going to be able to do that, but
nope. Yeah. So, and that makes sense. So like, that's definitely going to be, there's going to be a lot more of that soon. And then we talked about a while ago, like prediction, although I think you disagreed or thought of it in a little different way, but I was saying like the other future of movies right now, obviously, is video games and anime. And you were saying you thought is because of who is being raised right now, or this generation.
Anime, I would agree with.
Okay.
Because the anime now, like, basically people are hitting their early mid 20s that grew up watching anime.
Yes.
And before that, it was not as much of a thing in our culture.
Yeah.
And so those people are going to slowly be the people that are making the indie. And so I think you're going to see anime influences much more on some, and those will break out too, because someone will make a feature film that's maybe live action, but has like these anime influences, and then it'll connect with all that audience and those people, and So I think the video game thing is interesting, because I think the video game thing, they've been trying to make video game movies for multiple decades now. Yeah. So I don't know that is a new thing, and I don't feel like it's really going to break out any more than it already has. And I think they just like a hit or miss in general.
Well, I guess with that, I think I mean more so, because you're right, the video game thing has been happening for at least since video game adaptations, at least since the 90s. But I mean more so video game films that are actually faithful to the source material, because now also to the point about this generation of people grew up with these video games and like actually want or are really passionate about the source material. And so I think that's the difference now, is we're going to see better ones, which we are starting to now.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think there's plenty of people that are my generation that grew up with video games that were passionate about the source material, that made some good movies and made some bad movies. Yeah. So I don't think that's new either.
It just seems like there's more now. I mean, because
I would say there's the other way around, because I think what's more common now is these online multiplayer games that don't really have a real story.
Oh yeah.
And like, that's going to be like, I mean, they're going to try to, well, they've made some things about them regardless, but like they do
Minecraft. So you think they're going to do like Fortnite or something?
Yeah. Like if they do a Fortnite film, which is the same thing, it's like, you're going to get all the Fortnite fans to show up, but I think that's a little bit more on the dying side. So I don't know if they've missed a window on that, but that's the idea. Like, right. Like those kind of things, there's no actual like lore or story there much at all on those kind of games, but
someone's going to leave a comment.
That's what a lot of people play nowadays. And so
I'm very interested. The main two,
because there's like Roblox. Let's make a Roblox.
Yeah, movie. Roblox. Yeah, there you go. I think the main two, there's plenty more upcoming, but I think the main two I'm most interested in, but also very concerned about, is the Elden Ring film and the Zelda film.
Yep.
Those are the main two.
Yep. Yeah, we'll see.
Yep.
We'll see. Those are both, and they both have the creators heavily involved. The creators of the games heavily involved in the film. Yeah. And that's not always like, at least yes, a checkbox of like, yes, if you didn't do this, then I'd be really concerned. But it's still not a guarantee.
No.
Because it sometimes people can't translate from one medium to another, even if they are really good at one medium of storytelling.
Yep.
It doesn't mean they always can translate to the other. And so you just don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, let's get into Spider-Noir.
Okay.
So we're going to just discuss the whole season 1 and kind of just talk through it and some of the things we liked, didn't like. This is streaming on Amazon Prime, if you have it. Here's just the general premise of the whole show. Ben Reilly, a seasoned down-on-his-luck private investigator in the 1930s New York, is forced to grapple with his past life following a deeply personal tragedy as the city's one and only superhero.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, what's some of the thoughts about this?
Well, I wanted to kind of have you go first because I talked about this a couple weeks ago when it first came out, and it didn't seem like initially it didn't seem like you were as interested in it as me, but I also wanted to ask, did you watch it in color or black and white?
All right, so this is we can start there. So
yeah,
I somehow missed. I thought this was an animated show initially,
really?
So that's why I didn't even check it out. And when you talked about it, and I was like, wait a minute, it's live action.
Well, that's where he started. Well, previously, not originally, but that was the last thing we saw him in. Was an animated film.
Right. So that's why I guess I just assumed, and I was like, whatever. So then once I saw that, I was like, oh, I should then check this out. And then, so then I'm watching it, and then I chose to watch it in color.
Okay.
And then because it made me, every time I went to play, it asked me.
Yep.
So like I continued to choose because we'll get into other stuff, but visually, I loved the way this looked.
Me too.
Especially in color.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could basically tell the lighting was done to make the black and white look correct.
Right.
But in doing so, it made the color version look very interesting.
Yes.
And very dynamic and just rich. And they really just pop the color. And even the set design things are like much more contrasty in colors.
It seems more saturated, right?
Well, I think it's there so it pushes through in the black and white.
Gotcha.
And then they would normally do, but it just made it look so unique to me as something I hadn't seen something that looked like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, if ever, but definitely in a long time. And so it was just fascinating to watch that way. And so I actually never really ended up, I kept saying, oh, I should watch a little bit in black and white. I never got around to doing it because I just enjoyed the color version so much from a visually like lighting and cinematography standpoint. And I think in that case, like this was beautiful.
Yeah.
Like all the way through.
Yeah. I did check it out a little bit, but I wanted to watch more in black and white too, but I chose color overall because I agree 100% with you. It is, it's so unique, and obviously I love like the vibe anyway, the 1930s, and obviously what they're playing on the noir. That's another reason why they wanted to do the black and white thing and light it specifically for that. But yeah, it's just I think that was a good choice of word. It is very unique and just like really, it's entertaining to watch just for visually alone. But yeah, how'd you feel about the actual story and characters?
I think overall it was interesting and engaging. I think it was helpful that most of the episodes weren't like super long.
Yep.
Kept it moving along. It didn't, I think if they were, every episode was an hour long, it would have probably drug out.
For sure.
But I think in what you, the quotes, you're like just the seeing him down on his luck. It's Spider-Man, but he's like, doesn't want to be Spider-Man. He doesn't really even want to be successful in life, I guess is best. He's just like, dude, I don't care.
Yeah.
And so that like the flipping on the heads of the quote of like, but with little responsibility,
no power, comes
little power comes little responsibility. And I just laughed when I heard that, so like that like underlying comedy that's there that made it fun.
Yeah, more comedy than I thought would be in this. Actually, yeah, it was great. I liked it.
And Nicolas Cage is great in the role. Like he plays that very well. And even though like he's one of those people like there's never loved him as an actor. Like he always just there's something about him that always kind of let's say like rubbed me the wrong way. It's not the best way because it's not like that drastic, but it just like never. And it's like it's like who he is, like because it doesn't matter what the role, it's like always. And I felt that a little bit at the beginning of this, but then I think as I watched it, like he really kind of embodied that character in a way that like I kind of come to love it. And
it takes a little bit to settle into it. Yeah, his performance as Ben Reilly for sure. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think, one of the other things I thought was great was the manifestation of some of the other superpowered people that like you see as the tradition, like pulling in the traditional antagonists for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And like, but like bringing their powers in. So you had like the Sandman, but like it's not what you would normally think of Sandman. And then you have like, was it the Croc or whatever? Like,
yes.
Yeah, like again, not, and so like in the way they brought them into the story, the way they kind of showed their powers was in a very like interesting, grounded way, and fit the story really well. And I really thought that was another well done.
I agree.
Thing. So
yeah, and I had a note about that too because I was actually surprised like how much like actual superhero people in general, whether it be
the guy with the
villains.
fire, like who's that supposed to, or was that just
the fire one?
Yeah, like that was the one that didn't.
The fire one, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
because I was going to ask you about the electricity guy, right? Because that one,
same with
I wasn't sure either.
Yeah, same with him. Like I'm not sure who, but I'm sure they connect to some.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But I'm not as familiar with Spider-Man comics.
No, the biggest one was Sandman for sure.
Yeah,
and that also makes sense why he was the most
connected.
Critical and connected to the other characters. Yes. Yeah. I'm glad you did like it because it seemed like you didn't really care about it. But maybe it's because you thought it was animated.
Like I hadn't watched any of it. I guess I somehow didn't even. Maybe I just made that assumption and never even watched a trailer.
Okay.
I don't even know.
Okay.
Because but when you started talking about it a couple of weeks ago, I hadn't watched it and hadn't checked it out, and then and it really wasn't even on my radar because I was like, I literally thought it was anime, and I was like, and maybe I'll watch it, but it was, and so it wasn't as high priority because.
No, that was another reason why I was looking forward to it even more is because seeing a live action version of him, especially because of him in the Spider-Verse. And then just seeing how they do this 1930s noir story is
and then
really interesting.
Same, with the set design and stuff like that was great. It was a fun watch.
And the supporting cast too were all great. I mean, the main one, man, he's been in a lot of stuff now. Lamar something. Obviously from New Girl, but he's been in a lot of other stuff now. But he was great too. I also love. I'll look up the cast because I also love Cat.
What's Winston in New Girl?
Yes, but I'll look it up. But yeah, Cat, I really loved that actress as well. I thought she was great, and it's cool because they still lean into like even if it's like sometimes. In a comical or like over the top or cheesy way even of 1930s, but I loved it though because it's like those films and stuff from that time were that way. Like even with the way people talked, the dialogue, and even intentionally sometimes Ben Reilly will even dial it up himself like even more, specifically for like a situation he's in or something with like all that's really great. But even
just like
Cat,
this, like where he lies to the lady about the phone working.
Yeah.
And like as an example of just like he's like, yeah, this one's broken. Go across the street or something. And then while she's still standing there, it rings and he answers it. And then he just goes, looks at her and he's like, yeah, I lied. And then just walks away. Like,
great.
And those are like the character moments that really makes him such a unique, different Spider-Man, right? Like he's not trying to be Mr. Goody Two-Shoes or whatever, like however you want to, like just like
he's not the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
No, he's not. He's like trying to not be that as much as possible.
Yeah. But so the other character too, like I really like Kat Hardy also, and she's even the other stereotypical like, dame stereotype in like 1930s. Yeah, and I thought she was great too. Yeah, so Lamorne Morris is Robbie Robertson. It's like even the names are very Robbie Robertson. Yeah, Kat Hardy is Lee Jun Lee. Yeah, and the other one, obviously our villain Silvermane is Brendan Gleeson. He's great too. I believe that was it, mainly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the guy playing the Croc.
Yeah.
Like he looked familiar, but
he did. I'm looking at him. I'm
not sure where I've seen him before.
No, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, anyway, so the stereotypes even of like that 1930s is all there too, but I think is great and like just done well to move the story forward. So speaking of that, the whole 1930s thing, even with the dialogue is I love the description of each episode too. It was also like that. So, and then my favorite one of the titles was "Careful is for stock tips and hot sauce." that was in the title of one of the episodes, or the description of the episode. But yeah, but all of them were like that. It was really cool.
I think the one part, like the general plot of like, well, I'll say the overall more the detective part, right, which is weaves into like the broader like plot. I think that was done really well.
Yes.
And I think the only thing was a little bit was the MacGuffin of like his blood was what, like, could save everybody basically, or turn them into like lose their powers but then not die, right? Because I guess that they were implying that they're all headed to death like at some point, right? That was a little, but otherwise, like I think the general plot of the smaller things, and then like uncovering that they all were from the same unit, and
I love that part.
Like, and then why their powers showing up, and so I think that was all done well. Because one of the things I was thinking about, if you took the Spider-Man part out of it, is it a good story still?
Right.
Is it a good detective story? And I think whoever wrote it, kudos to them. I think they did that, right? Like, I think they maybe even started with that, right? Like, hey, let's make sure we have a good detective story here, regardless of, adding in the superpower stuff and adding the Spider-Man stuff. And I think that made for a good season of television.
Absolutely. So you mentioned like them all being part of the unit, and actually, I really like that aspect. And then I loved actually visiting that in World War One, those scenes, those flashback some, and then also in part of that is just like getting some of Ben Reilly's backstory and origin story, because I was very interested in like because I'm not familiar with because I don't even know how long this character's been around, like when Spider-Noir was created and then all that, but like I was interested in like his origin story. So I'm glad we got some of that as well.
I think one of the other things that was fun that they played with several times was the how his assistant and then Winston. I can't remember his actual name.
Robbie Robertson.
Robertson.
Yep. How
they were actually better investigators than he was. Like they were like ahead of him, and they're like, "Oh, we were just waiting for you to catch up."
Yep.
And like that kind of happened in different ways, but like, and I think that was great, which kind of leads to like a nice where at the ending they kind of start their own thing, right? Like and I think.
Yeah, their dynamic, the three of them, was really great. I wanted to mention
I love the assistant lady, like
her like
her like
Janet.
Yeah,
Karen Rodriguez is the actor. I was not familiar with her, but yeah, Janet. So
she looked
Janet,
familiar
Robbie,
to me a little
Ben.
bit. Like she's definitely been in some other things I've seen. Yeah,
But yeah, to your point at the end, that is what they do. Well, it shows because the very last shot, and it's very also just 1930s, even an ending of like a 1930s movie. But I thought it was done really well. Was they all leave the office, and you see the door close, and so it says his name, but then Janet is added to it, to the name. But then like as he's leaving, he like turns around and like is basically grabbing his hat and put it on. But like he does it, he does the spider. He shoots the spider web and then grabs the hat and then puts it on, the very 1930s style, and then like tips his cap and walks away, and like that's the last thing. And so like even that was just done really well. The ending, the final confrontation before that with Silvermane was like it was cool, but it wasn't like this huge massive thing like it would be in a comic book film.
Yep.
But it still was effective though, and yeah. Again, I want to mention Kat Hardy because I thought she was great too, and all the sequences that we get of her at the club, especially singing, I thought were awesome. And I couldn't tell if it was actually her singing or if it was dubbed, but fantastic singer. And so I really liked all those sequences with her.
I agree. Yeah, I think it's.
How'd you feel about his actual costume? Because the Spider-Noir costume is so sick. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, no, I think it looked great.
It looks great in live action because we saw it in the Spider-Verse animated. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how do you think this holds up to some of our other live action? It's interesting to see it as a TV show and not a movie, right?
Yeah.
I don't know have we ever gotten a live actions? Was there someone like old back in the day? Spider-Man? Is that live? No, it was just cartoon, right? It was never live action.
That's a good question. I'm not sure. Mainly it's been animated.
Or
for
then
a TV
shows, and then in movies, we've had the 3 different iterations of it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
this might be the first live action television thing related to Spider-Man, though. Yeah. Leave a comment if you know. But as far as I know, I think this is.
And but I think it's definitely hopefully they do a season 2. Honestly,
I hope so too. I haven't seen anything about it because that was another thing I was curious about going into it. If it was going to be just a mini series, especially because Nicolas Cage, like this is the first television thing he's done at all. So like I didn't know if he was going to sign on for
to do more or not. And I think if they don't, though, I think it was self-contained.
Oh yeah,
and
it is.
They don't have to make more, and it was still worth making. It was a nice creative endeavor and a good story and worth watching, I think.
Yeah, and they still make it. It's never too crazy big. Even like I mentioned, the final like kind of confrontation with Silvermane and any of the scenes where he's fighting any of the villains, but it's still enough to where like it's engaging and interesting. But yeah, it's not on the level of a Marvel movie, obviously. But and it's cool. Like even when he's just fighting like forget his name, but like the electric guy just on the street is cool, and it's just kind of a cool set. One thing I thought was funny though is, I mean, it's just like with anything with like a superhero with their identity, it's like you kind of just have to like just go with it. Cause it's like he doesn't change his voice at all when he's in the costume. You notice that?
That's true. He
just talks the same.
Well, I thought it was funny when Kat like she just throws herself out the window.
That was my other thing I was going to mention. Yeah.
Like she's like, I think I know who you are.
Yeah.
But like, what if she was wrong?
Right. Yeah.
Like,
she was that sure though.
Yeah.
Obviously, but that was my last note. I think that was one of the coolest and one of my favorite scenes of the whole season was her coming over to his house. And the way it's done too, like I knew it was going to happen, but it still was a great setup because she sits on the windowsill, opens up the window, and just to start smoking.
Doesn't he? Like, he closes it at some point, and then she reopens it.
Okay, but then like she's sitting there, you're like, oh, okay, she's gonna start smoking. But then like I had a feeling, I was like, yeah, she's gonna. Yeah, it is just cool, and then even the visual of her being raised up by the web, that was like the most Spider-Man moment, I would say, like in cinematic, like kind of Spider-Man moment that we have seen a lot in the past.
Yep.
And it was just really cool. Yeah.
Agree. Cool. Yeah, definitely worth checking out. That's on Amazon Prime. And
for sure.
If you have that, yeah, and check it out and let us know your thoughts.
And I agree. If it was any longer, I think it would start dragging. Yeah. It was a good length, 8 episodes. They're not all an hour. Yeah. So
next week I'm going to kick off our coverage of
House of the Dragon season 3.
I think it was Game of Thrones. House of the Dragon season 3 and The Bear final season.
Yep. That'll be coming shortly after that too. Yep. We're going to talk about that for sure.
We'll start talking about those and cover that for week to week for about 6 weeks, whatever, 2 months, somewhere in there.
And then did you see they dated? We're going to be back to Lord of the Rings also. That's November.
Yep.
Which is cool. So I'm looking forward to that as well.
Mm-hmm. Of course, if you have any thoughts or feelings you want to share and have us share on the podcast, we always appreciate that. You can leave a comment or DM or send us an email. The email address is feedback@screentimepod.com. And then if you don't already, you can like and subscribe to Screen Time Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. And then we have shorts that we post to Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And so you can find us there at Screen Time Pod. And if you'd like, you can follow Jared and I individually on Instagram. My Instagram is @JYoungBar.
And I'm at Jared Youngbar.
All right. We'll catch you guys next week.